So this is the unfortunate thing about running all over the place, right? You know, doing virtual tours and notarizations and walking properties, doing landlord responsibilities. You kind of get put all over the map. You get pulled in a bunch of different directions. So for example, I'm leaving the Milwaukee Gladstone area right now. If you're familiar, I'm leaving that area, going back home, and I have to come back to the Milwaukee Gladstone area to walk a property in Milwaukee at 4 o'clock. It's currently at 1 o'clock. So I have 3 hours until I have to come back here. And it just seems like such a waste of my time to drive 30 minutes this direction to, you know, run my business for like, you know, two and a half hours, and then I have another half an hour drive back here to walk a property. And that's the unfortunate thing is like, yeah, I would really like to have more control over my schedule. But since I'm the one making the offers, since I'm the one like, you know, like working with people here, trying to figure out if we can do some business, you know, it's kind of hard to tell them, oh, Friday at 4 o'clock works for you. I don't know. I got something going on at noon. Can you maybe do 1, right? It's not really great to like try to haggle with people on when they're willing to show you their house that needs repairs. Typically, if they set something, they're more likely to be able to make it happen. So you just say, okay, 4 o'clock works for you. I'll make it work for me. And so I'm kind of in that situation today where it would be extremely convenient if I could just call this person up and say, hey, what are you doing right now? But not super professional, right? Because, oh, you want to change this, you know, and they're like, well, I'm not available. And the worst case scenario is I call them and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot that we had that 4 o'clock meeting. Or, hey, I'm so glad you called. I actually need to reschedule, right? So that's even worse because I'm like, I gave them a chance to like wiggle out of it. Because if I was just there knocking on the door, it's a lot different, right? As opposed to, 3 hours from now, oh yeah, I want to be busy doing something else other than dealing with this situation, right? So I'm like, and I've had that happen to me so many times that I just don't even call anymore. I say, hey, I'm setting this time. I'm going to be there no matter what. So that's it. I don't want to give them a heads up. I don't want to say, oh, hey, I'm on my way, because it just gives them a chance to squirm out of it. Oh, hey, before you leave, right? Just, you know, let's reschedule. So it's kind of one of those things when you get somebody who's motivated and is willing to meet you, you kind of just, you know, if you're serious, it's kind of better just to like bite the bullet and like, yes, am I going to drive all the way here and then double back and waste a bunch of my time? Yeah. But really at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, it's part of business, right? Like this is logistics, right? Logistics is figuring out where I am, where I need to be, planning my schedule. Honestly, I didn't plan on going to Tiger to do a notarization today at noon. I had somebody hit me up last minute, AKA this morning, and they said, oh, hey, can you come out here and do that? And I'm like, yeah, I can, right? And then that gave me a chance to walk, you know, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go look at the Gladstone property, you know, okay, that needs to be mowed. There's a branch that needs to be trimmed. I can do that, right? So, you know, you just, you know, walk your property. So, I mean, like, I'm trying to use the time efficiently as I can, but like I have 3 hours of dead time, and it's like too much time to just sit here and wait, but it's not enough time to where, like, you know what I mean, right? So anyways, if you're thinking about getting into business, if you're thinking about doing real estate and wholesaling and flipping and property management and running, you know, having your own long-term rentals, just be ready. You're going to spend a lot of time in your car, a lot of time, and it's not always going to be the most efficient thing. So this is like a real life, real scenario. I'm actively dealing with it right now. I was sitting in my car and I was like, dang it, what can I do to burn through 3 hours so I don't have to do this back and forth? There's literally nothing. I need to be at my desk. I literally need to be at my desk. So there's nothing else I can do. So that's what I'm going to go do. All right, you guys, real talk. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you have any questions down below. If you guys have any scheduling software that I should look into, feel free to let me know. I feel like, I've had people say, yeah, do a Calendarly link, right? Use Calendarly. And I'm just like, yeah, man, I feel like that's worse, because then they pick a time and I don't even I have to go look and move it's just hard to have your whole life on one calendar, right? If you got kids and family and properties and maintenance and flips and property walkthroughs and events and random 12 noon notarizations, right? It's just so hard to have your whole life on one calendar. So if somebody picks this time, then you have to call them and say, oh, hey, I'm so sorry. I had something else come up. It's just better for me to schedule it. And that way I know what's going to happen, and I just have to move everything around that, as opposed to somebody saying, oh, hey, this is what works for me. I hope it works for you, right? So anyways, all right, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get to it. I hope you guys have an awesome Wednesday. Hope some of my deals close here soon. I could use some extra cash, who couldn't? So anyways, appreciate you guys. See ya.